Happy 2022, guys. If you're a parent, this should interest you. If you're not, it might interest you. It shows you kind of the direction that people promoting such or certain people want the future to go. It doesn't just concern me, it actually alarms me. And there are several reasons for this. I'm talking about the Parental Bill of Rights. The first reason is I've noticed a pattern many times when you hear, fund this so you can be part of saving this. You're actually funding the extermination of that something that you were told you're saving. So that may be one reason. Reason two, currently in positions of power are people who believe that sex with minors is okay. Some hide it, but Trudeau, I've seen him on a march accompanying a group that endorsed such. So Trudeau is friendly with groups that want pedo rights, while children taken by so-called child protective services just disappear with no trace. It'd be great if we did have like a service that did what they claim to do. But I don't know if that's the case, because I see cases where children are left in dangerous situations that are obviously dangerous, and I'm not even a trained whatever training they get. And they end up dead, despite those people being aware and even checking in on things. Also, I hear of how many children are taken from decent to good homes because their dishes were out of order. Like, really, what the fuck is that? And pardon my French, but really. Reason 3, and this applies to Texas, and maybe some other places that have their own constitution. Trading the Texas Constitution rights for the Parental Bill of Rights, when you were already pretty much afforded the rights with the document they want out, and you're giving up so much more, it seems like ignorance to me. Like, people obviously don't know who support this. Or, I'd love to hear their argument, because this seems stupid to me, to be honest. So, the U.S. Constitution lists what governments can do. The Texas Constitution lists what governments can't do. The Texas Constitution has many requirements and limitations and is considered one of the most restrictive constitutions in the United States. Article 1 declares sovereignty of Texas. Section 2 declares that all political powers are inherent in the people. Further, the faith of the people stands pledged to a republic form of government. Note, this refers to a type of government, not to a political party. It concludes that the people may alter, reform, or abolish the government when necessary. Section 18 protects you from imprisonment for debt. In Texas, if you owe someone a sum of money, they can't throw you in prison for it, while in other places they can, I guess. Succession in the Constitution. Succession is not a term used in the Texas Constitution. No standard for succession is set or necessary. If you read it, no process for a state to succeed. Yet states are sovereign entities, and if they join the union of their will, they, by their right and in respect, should also be able to leave by their will. So I think that with the limitations and restrictive constitution that Texas has, that may be helpful in combating what they see as the border crisis. My perspective is it's a man-made, Jewish-funded crisis Soros, supposedly, but I kind of see him as just the fall guy at this point, because at some point there will be a reckoning. And these people would be nothing without scapegoats. Article 1 declares sovereignty of Texas, which, if you're the person who wants everybody to be your slave, that might be even offensive to you. The further the faith of the people stands pledged to the republic form of government part, I don't know if it'd be an issue, because I want to say, well, if they're pushing for communism, it could be. However, I feel like we're more of an empire nowadays. I don't know. And, of course, they wouldn't want that the people may alter, reform, or abolish the government if necessary. In there, that might give people ideas, and let people know their rights. And honestly, I've been at reform the government for a while, back and forth from there to abolish, because I kind of feel that we're so infiltrated that we're probably not going to be reformed. And, yeah. And that's going to be intentional. But that's why I kind of have a little bit of anarchy in me, because to me, anarchy means be your own leader. And I think you don't need somebody, I don't need somebody holding my hand, telling me what's good and what's bad. And I'm pretty sure they don't need to take credit for our good either. I mean, they're sure ready to fillet us when we do something wrong. It seems like not all of them, but there are some people. I mean, shit, the media does it to their own. But they studied us. They studied us, and they know how we function. So I think it's kind of like, I don't want to say a live action soap opera, but they might. Succession is definitely something that, if people do understand it, they're not going to want to see the Constitution go. However, if they do, they're probably going to want it to stay. I don't know if it was a nationalist party or what it was, but there was some party in Texas, and I was looking at them for a little while, but kind of a loner, to be honest, and I don't have a lot of faith in the system. Like I said, I think there are so many people that do not even want to acknowledge the infestation we're facing, because it's cloaked in legality. They don't want to acknowledge the thefts on many levels that happen. So, also, I think it's crazy they want to make it legal to lock people up for being in debt. These people have enough power, they can just say that you owe them money and throw you in prison. Seriously. So they're inching more and more towards power. And you know what's funny? The more they're inching towards power, what's being taught in school and what's being taught on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? But in conclusion, do what you will. It's your choice, ultimately. But I leave you with this. Would you prefer, A, to fight today, to actually have a freaking backbone and stand up for things? You don't have to always physically fight. We are in an ideological war. But stand up for something, man. And actually look into it so you can stand on some solid ground. Is it worth standing up for today so tomorrow is beautiful? Or should you be hand everything over and be compliant? At this point, I'm seeing people who are conformist. They can be a form of cancer. Now, they could be used for good too, but they really can enable some evil stuff. So, Sometimes you have to fight for what's worth fighting for. But I think I'm kind of preaching to the choir, to be honest. I think anybody who comes across me has to have some sort of... Y'all have to have something special about you, in my opinion, because I do not resonate with everyone, you know what I'm saying? Some people are just, they don't want to even think about that stuff because they're very comfortable. Some people don't want to recognize that if you want to stay comfortable, it can eventually reach you. And actually, with you staying comfortable, you put your countrymen, your neighbors at risk to a degree. Because if stuff hits the fan, I'd rather have somebody around me who is aware than unaware. You understand? That's safer. Anyway, I hope you all have a great day, and toodles.